Okay, so my lovely guest, we are moving straight to the Euros 2020. And uh, in our previous video, we talked about Spain and Italy. And as you can see, Italy and Spain, yesterday's game ended up with a penalty shootout. So what are we going to say about this too? Because yesterday's game was very, very intense, even looking at the statistics. With this, I'm going to start with Fee.
Yeah, all right. As I always say, and I often try to tell people that one reason why I am a strong fan of Jose Mourinho is because he has a lot of Italian attitudes in the way he coaches his team. And one of the fundamental things is for the team to be able to adapt to situations on the field. There are games that you are pinned back to the wall and you have to find a way to make yourself relevant. Yesterday's game is a perfect example of a game like that. Throughout this tournament, Italy has been playing the best attacking football in this tournament, and they've been the best at it. Now they are faced with Spain, and all of a sudden Spain discovers their mogo, and for the first 10 minutes it was impossible for Italy to even touch the ball or get close to them. And for those of us who watch football with a lot of attention, I started shaking my head. I knew there was trouble coming. And this game made me respect Enrique a lot. I didn't used to rate him that much, but in 2012, Spain versus Italy in the final, Spain did something. Because they wanted to stop Pelou, they played Fabregas as a false nine just to stay on Pelou, and then left Bonucci and Chiellini. And in the game, Spain dominated totally, because if you stop the register from playing, they are in trouble. The same thing happened yesterday. They placed Dani Olmo as a false nine to stay very close to Jorginho. So when I hear people say Jorginho was useless in the game, I ask the question, why? The reason is because of the false nine system that Spain used, and it really crippled Jorginho. He really struggled because all the passing lanes were blocked. He wasn't even getting the ball, and he had to do chasing up and down. But smart Mancini, very, very smart Mancini, after realizing that the system where he was struggling, he switched to a 4-2-3-1 to Locatelli and then Jorginho, and then placed Pessina in front of them so that Pessina will also block out Busquets. But it was a tall order for the Italians. And for those of us who love Italian football, I love to see a team on the back foot trying to defend their spaces and fighting for every single ball in their box. And once again, Italy showed the world that the fact that we started trying to pass the ball does not mean we don't know how to kick the ball. And if the game had continued for the next 2 hours, it didn't look like Spain was going to score. And right from history books and everything, like I have said before, Spain is not a team that normally beats Italy that much. In fact, in Europe, teams that normally beat Italy are not the big teams. So when it's a big game and you are facing Italy and Italy decides to defend, that's it. And I was listening to Gianfranco Zola just this morning, and he said that immediately Italy decided to defend, he had nothing to worry about. He knew it is either Italy scores or it goes to penalties. And knowing that Donnarumma is one of the best Italian goalkeepers when it comes to penalties, he was rest assured that somebody in Spain would miss. And lucky for us and unfortunate for Spain, it had to be Morata.
With Morata missing the penalty, I was sad because
no, but a lot of pundits are questioning why Spain had to allow Morata to kick, because throughout this tournament he's been having issues with fans back home. He redeemed himself by equalizing, and then we put him up again for slaughtering, because anyone could miss and it's okay, but Morata cannot miss. And now I am just wondering how terrified and worried that young man is as of now. It's really a sad situation for Murat.
All right. Freddie, can you take us through the performance? He just took us through the performance of yesterday's game between Italy and Spain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he gave a wonderful submission. I hope I can be heard. I'm audible now.
Yes, please.
Okay. He gave a wonderful submission, and I can just add a little to it with regards to the tactical aspect of the game. Yesterday, there's one thing I realized. Ciro Immobile was mostly isolated in the Italian play, and this is because most of their play I'm not going to say centered, but then most of the attack was launched through Leonardo Spinazzola, and yesterday he wasn't there. The guy's energy in most of their games was just excellent, and yesterday you could realize that though Emerson was trying his best to do something, but then it wasn't as compared to the contributions Spinazzola was giving. And as Fifi said, I was reading an article this morning, and I think MC, you put it there, according to Italian.net. Bonucci said this was one of their biggest match, one of their greatest match, and it's true.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique yesterday, Fifi also said it. He earned my respect a lot. When I saw the formation, I had a little bit. I was like, why is not playing the focal nine? But then during the first 10 minutes of the game showed the reason why he was not playing the focal nine. This is because, I don't know the name of that guy, the guy from Sadat, Oyazaba or something. Oyazaba and Omo and Ferran Torres. Torres was the false nine. And as you said, he was coming close to Jojo, make sure Jojo was not going to enjoy the game. And the other two, Oyazaba and Ferran Torres, were just superb. I don't know if you realize, the first 30 minutes, Ferran Torres made sure Lorenzo was he was suffering. And even it was just that Dr. Birch made sure that he just had to calm tempers down because Di Lorenzo was just kicking him left and right. The other two, the two midfielders, they really worried. They really stretched the Italian guys, their defense, and you could realize that Bonucci and Chiellini were suffering in the first 30 minutes of the game. And Olmo did a wonderful job in the game. And he was the best player of the night. It was just unfortunate that he missed this penalty. In such instances, trust me, if I was a player, I won't kick the penalty. Especially if I know I've done my best, my utmost best in this game. Everybody knows that I was the best player of the day. But then you just been kick a penalty, and that's all. What you did for the day has just been lost, wiped out. So the Italians, yesterday Mancini was so clever. He realized that they couldn't go head to head with Tiki Taka with the Spanish team. So what they had to just sit back. And even going into the game, I think there was one of the pundits who I don't know. I think it was Mourinho or one of the coaches. He said that Spain's style of play, Spain will make sure that Italy will suffer in their play because when Spain gets the ball, they will just relax. They cool the game. They slow the game down and make sure. See, the Italians like to. The tiki-taka is a fast press 1, 2, 3, and they are just moving. But then when Spain gets the ball, they just relax. Busquets will just relax the ball. Koke gets the ball, just relax the ball. So they knew what they were about and make sure that they had to frustrate the Italians. Then the Italians realizing that they can't play with them. What do they have to do? And we know that they are the best defensive team ever. We just have to sit back and counter them. And with Chiesa's goal was one of the superb goals. It was just top notch. The finesse to the other side of the goal was just top notch. And kudos to Mancini and his team for qualifying. And I say better luck to Luis Enrique. Although the Spanish team they gave their all. But it's just unfortunate that Donnarumma came out stood to at the end of the penalty kicks. And Giorgino, Chelsea fans wanting to read Ballon, but it won't happen. Although he put in a very calm and cool penalty to make sure that they sail through to the finals.
Okay. So now Italy.
MC. I need to say this quickly before you ask the next question. Franco Zola was asked a question this morning by Ruud Gullit, and the question was, at what point do Italians get to realize that we need to defend in this game? Then Zola responded by saying that immediately we find attackers getting too much spaces in behind our defense, we need to close up that space, and the only way to close up that space is to drop. So if you watch the first half, Italy was trying to match up Spain with a high press, just like the way they played against Belgium. But after failing to do that in the first 30 minutes, in the second half, if you recall in our group, I wrote in there, I expect Italy to play compact in the second half.
Yeah.
Because there was no way they were going to match Spain boot for boot with a high press and with a passing game. It was impossible. And this is where football science comes in. So for people who are learning football and are watching football, it is a delight to see how coaches switch and change in the course of the game. And one thing is worth mentioning: mentality. For Italian football and Italians at large, the word mentality happens to be something that I feel it is theirs. When they have to grind out the results, be rest assured that even if they have to break their necks, you could see a lot of cramps. A lot of the players had cramps in the course of the game, falling down and getting massaged and up and down. But this is Italy. They have this psychological edge over a lot of European teams. They have this edge over Spain. They have the edge over Germany. They have the edge. The only team Italy struggles to have that edge over is France. Aside France, they have that mental toughness over all of them. And they can decide to give you the ball and then decide to watch you. And you would pop and huff. You would never enter their box. So mentality-wise, I think Italy has shown again that when it gets difficult, they can revisit their old books and then take some inspiration from there.
Okay, so we expect Italy to revisit their old books so that during the finals they can give their best. Because looking at the overall performance with Spain, if they are to take this same attitude to the finals, it's going to be something else. So all the best to Italy, and we are yet to know the team that is going to play with Italy. So I know with Fifi, you are in full support with Italy. How about Freddie?
Oh, okay. I support the Three Lions of England.
Whoa!
It's unfortunate my team is out. My team is Germany. We already are diamond shot. It's unfortunate, but then I have let me say I have some soft spot for England because of the EPL. See, because the Spanish fans talk a lot, so I have some soft spot for England. Make sure that the Three Lions can progress.
Okay. All right. US.
FC. Please hold on. For England, I smile because England cannot afford to bench Harry Kane. And the last time Harry Kane played against Bonucci and Chiellini, he struggled to even get a shot on target. And so long as England cannot afford to bench Harry Kane and they will play with a recognized number 9, be sure that the game you saw this morning would not be the same as if they are to meet England. And again, England is not better at passing the ball than even this Italian team. Okay. So therefore, I've heard a lot of people saying that if Italy plays the same way against this, I'm like, no. The team dynamics are different. England is entirely different. Phillips and Declan Rice are not as smart and intelligent as Busquets, Koke, and Pedri. And even for the back line, if you watch how Laporte and the other back line how comfortable they were on the ball, England are not that comfortable. And trust me, if Italy decides to play compact against England, you are going to probably witness a 3-0 scoreline.
Okay. Wow. Come again. 3-1?
Let me repeat it again. I said, if Mancini decides to play compact against England, we are likely to see a 3-0 scoreline.
Okay. So Italy, we are waiting to see a 3-0 against England during finals. But before we come on England and Denmark's game, which is supposed to come up tonight. Viewers, if you are watching us and you are new to this channel, please click the subscription button to get notified anytime we upload a video. And this is Footnotes Sports Extreme, and I'm here with Fifi and Freddie, my champion and fantastic analyst when it comes to sports.